What happened last time?
You just got it this time, guys.
Amelia,
Well, I was going to, and then I lost.
come back.
Find my notes
Oh,
last
okay.
week.
I'm
I
good.
literally took notes last week too.
So we started in Golden Spade. We were talking about our issue of aura, our smelly aura of desperation. We've, as it turns out, the three folks from the Fae had been cursed because of the mission that they took on in order to gain passage to the Primaterial Plane. We have been cursed by the ancient dragon from whom we stole an egg. Willowstride used us as curse patsies to secure his own dukehood, which honestly is a real jerk move. And we're going to be miffed about that for a little while, and I'm sure it will come up again. Continually, every time somebody approaches us. Then we contacted Oberon, and we figured out that we were marked with Vorthos' sign, who was kin of Typhustune, which is a big problem for us. We learned that Willowstride, Callum Willowstride, has been moving up in the Fae because he has the egg hostage. Basically, everybody in the party is cursed except for Rolf.
That's true.
Cursed or otherwise entangled, I think is a good way to put it. We're in a bad way, and to make matters even worse, poor Ty inadvertently made a.
I'm not poor.
Well, fair enough. Ty.
Financially stable.
Yeah, financially stable. Has been cursed by a demon of trickery and deceit, Yatana.
Demon Lord. Let's
Demon
be clear.
Lord.
It's not just a demon, it's a demon lord.
Yeah,
I got big time. Big time.
Yeah.
I mess up, it's
I
big,
don't
baby.
get those small time curses. It's the big stuff.
Yeah. She showed up, and we all gambled with her to avoid her ire, and we all won.
Yeah, you
because
guys
we're
all won.
Never punished main characters.
Meanwhile, the degenerate gambler does get punished, but all the not gamblers, they're fine.
Yeah. So after that, we left and went to an inn to plan, and we discovered there were miners talking about strange ritual, alchemical symbols. We headed to the Miners Guild Hall in the center of town. Bosch, Kenku Miner Guild leader, gave us a quest to investigate the mine in question, and we ended our session descending into the mine.
Your group descends deep into the mine. You find the area that has been cut off. Has another set of locks once the gate comes down here that was set up to stop anybody in case they got past the initial locks of the mines that you took down here. Bosch unlocks that and takes you into what looks to be like meticulously laid out mines. There is a clear professionalism that is brought into these mines, and almost a like OCD like pattern into the way that they mine. You can see where the gold veins once were, and there are little bits of magical lanterns down here that are long-term use type of lanterns that don't need to be refilled, but they don't need to be refilled with oil, but instead need to be refilled with magic over time, mana, whatnot, spell slots. And you guys traverse down into the area. You guys are brought to pass a couple of twists and turns where there is those alchemical symbols that you remember seeing. Those are imprinted on the wall. You see where they stopped and clearly where they got spooked. There was what looks to be all sorts of contaminants on the ground as well. It's wet and muddy where most of the stuff was actually drier in this area. You're not deep enough into the earth where the mining would either cause a greater heat to start making the area itself exposed to different types of Zenya's like heat or natural gas or whatnot, and it's not exposed to any sort of water reserves or reservoirs. This material clearly seems foreign from this area, as laid out besides. You come to what is a dead end, as you can see the alchemical symbology embedded in the wall. On the left side, most of it is carved in and glows every now and then, whereas it starts to get towards the end, it looks like more almost painted onto the wall. On the right side, there is just more of the standard gold veins. It looks normal. Bosch turns to your group and he goes, "Make sense of any of this? We found this one day after 4 of our miners went missing. We couldn't get anybody to be able to decipher it, even people that know all sorts about alchemy and such, and it's caused quite a big stir and scare. You can see there's a bird down here, the classic type of canary type of deal, and it's alive and well and chirping, so you can see the miners have taken precautions in this area to see if there's anything of the standard variety that would be a threat, but there's nothing discernible. What does your group want to do?"
I'm gonna start ritual casting detect magic while I encourage my friends to investigate.
I will. Oh, go ahead.
Bosch, you said that they went missing. Was there anything left of pickaxes or any of their items that we could look at?
Yes, absolutely. He comes over to a pile of stuff that has been gathered up and roped off, and all their mining gear has been left behind. No struggle, no immediate signs of unordinary wear or tear is on them. It appears they all are just dropped their crap and left. He points to the pile and goes, "Please feel free to investigate."
Yeah, I'm gonna rifle through their stuff and just see if there's anything that maybe seems out of place or connects
I'm gonna assist
all
him
of
with
them.
that.
Sure. Go ahead and make an investigation check. You can either do 2 separate ones or give one person advantage.
I'll let
I'm
you
not your
take
dad.
advantage.
You choose.
Okay. Give myself guidance though. Beautiful guidance. 17.
17. As you look through the stuff, it seems ordinary on its surface. But in the Feywilds, you're used to seeing stuff that is more than meets the eye, something that's beneath the surface. And what you notice there is an extremely subtle texture here, one that is magical, something that probably would be more akin to the Feywilds, that you can sense on here that clearly the miners might have missed over this type of stuff. It's almost like a bastardization of a charm type of spell, but instead made through more man-made means, maybe even alchemical means. It still reeks of this extra dust, powder, essence, aura, things that are not discernible to those not arcane inclined or those of the outer planes or different planes.
This is basically like over all of their stuff, right? It's not
yes,
like
in different places, and it's like a little bit
Yeah.
here, a little bit there, but it connected on
Just a
over
smattering
all the
of
stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I'll relay that to Val as she is performing her ritual and try to direct her in what to look for.
All right.
Interesting. I've never seen enchantment achieved through non-magical means before. It's somewhat ingenious.
As
I haven't
the
necessarily seen it myself, but it feels familiar.
As the detect magic finishes, you can tell that there is a weird afterglow of like detect of magical essence over that stuff that you guys just sorted through. If not pointed out for you, could easily be mistaken. Probably the miners had someone else check for magical properties here, and they probably missed it because it's so subtle. And down here, you know, when you have a detect magic, I mean, so many things can light up the same vein. Zenya itself as a place is so magical that sometimes even just burrowing in earth, you might just end up getting blasted, and everything might seem magical when it is just an ore natural to the earth, a magical ore in that sense. But many types of things could obstruct that vision down here. With that guidance from Ulo, you're able to see and discern the charming type magic here. It would be a typical charm person type of spell that caused them to drop that. The glowing of the alchemical symbols there seem to be some sort of mix of enchantment type of material. Look like something more akin to rituals or summonings or transmutation. It's a bastardized mix because because there's something off about it that would need further investigation for you to have a clearer answer to why such a thing would be occurring on top of that wall. And the stuff on the ground is not magical. Whatever that weird essence is, that seems off. In the sense of it's not magical, doesn't seem natural.
It almost seems as though the things that are on the wall are somewhat like in flux, like warbling between different nefarious means, not quite sure of its intent. Is 17 Arcana? Does that give me anything?
It does! Oh, you little bastard got ahead of me.
The writing is on the wall, you know?
Got me. Okay. As you begin to try and decipher with Arcana, you notice that this ritual seems perverse in nature. It seems something that goes against typical Arcana. The way the alchemy is carved into the walls is something that is almost like anti to the way magical runes would typically work. And as you work through this, you notice when it goes to paint that there's probably more on the other side. This is an incomplete phrase. This is not a fully finished one. And where the wall ends, you suspect there should be more. There should definitely be more onto the opposite side of to finish whatever this statement is.
I kind of run my hand along where the symbols are, and towards the end of it, if I keep going along the wall, does the stone feel natural all the way down? Does what I'm feeling match up with what I'm seeing?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I'll relay that to the party. Say it looks like there's something missing. I'd be willing to guess that there's another portion of this arcane phrase somewhere, maybe in here, maybe somewhere else in the town.
Okay. That's What kind of distance would this enchantment have? I mean, how are we looking through the entirety of the mines, or is it gonna be in a radius to here?
Seems like at least the enchantment that was on the things were localized to the individual carrying the things. The things on the wall, however, I don't imagine would take complete effect until the phrase is completed. It's probably wise to assume that it has been, and that this whole place is under some kind of effect.
What is the consistency of the runes on the wall? Like, is it like somebody took the mining equipment and carved it themselves into the wall, or is it like burned into the wall, or...
Make an investigation check.
That is a 2.
Fuck. You go over to the wall and you begin touching and feeling into the grooves of it, and as you can feel the grooves of the stonework, and then you move down to eventually where it becomes like paintish in a sense. Right in your hand, you're like, you have no concept of what tools were used to make this, but something carved the far left and then brushed the far right. As you guys, I imagine, are staying away from the liquid on the ground inside here.
How it tastes.
You want
I'm
it? Yeah,
gonna-
sure. You want
No.
a sippy
I'm
sip?
gonna conjure a longsword.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna like dip it into the liquid to see if it reacts.
Sure. You conjure the longsword. It's a magical longsword. So I'd say it starts like eating away at your sword, and it starts like getting dissolved. But because it's a magical sword, it just is like repairing itself. But you see, like you put it in there, and it starts eating it. If it was a standard blade, it would die. But because it's magical, it keeps coming back.
You can see the smoke of it trying.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's some sort of acid, it looks like.
I'll take a closer look at the engravings and try to discern what made the markings.
Put my
Sure.
hand on Rolf's shoulder and give him guidance.
Go ahead and make an
I'll
investigation.
put my hand on Rolf's hip and give him inspiration.
I'll put my
I was waiting for it.
tongue in his mouth and give him non-bardic inspiration.
Where's the player? Then I grab his fucking face and make out with him.
Justin, is
Weird
that
group.
D6?
Yeah. Let me double check there.
Well, that would be an upsetting group
Yeah,
anime
it's
to
D6.
watch, where everyone, instead of like powering up, like going into a Megatron robot or some bullshit, everyone just sexually assaults the main character in some way or gropes them in order to power them up. I give you speed, and grabs her butt. He's like, dude, I don't want this. I think we don't need to do this. I give you strength. It's like, oh my God, no, I'm good. Don't need any more power-ups. I am good.
I give you constitution, just like rubs his shoulder real
It hurts though. It still hurts.
22.
Well, even taking a look at the mining tools here, the miner's tools don't line up with the depth, the length and the length being carved into these walls, as well as there's no tools present here for something as easy as that brush there. What comes to your mind is there must have been separate tools brought here by an individual. Arguably, the individual you're looking for must have brought resources down here to help make this. Maybe these same resources wouldn't be as easy to get rid of or dispose of in a way that could easily be brought in and out of this place. With that said, clearly foreign tools are brought in here to make whatever was going on inside here. What looks like, too, is in that investigation, it was purposeful to transition from whatever was being carved into the wall to the brush. And with your investigation, you see the same thing that Val did, that it looks like it should continue, but then there's a wall there with stone down here in the mines.
So it looks like it should continue, but like I reach a wall.
Yeah, it's basically like it's a dead end. And like you see a dead end. If you're facing that wall, left side is where all the runes are on the wall written. Right side, there's nothing, but that's where the gathered equipment was. Turning to face the rune side wall, it would be the equivalent of writing a sentence, right? And you would see the icon of the sentence is like, it was a really bright, and you see like D half an A. And it's like the sentence should go on in terms of arcana, as Val has pointed out. But it doesn't. And it doesn't really make logical sense for any of you to stop such a thing right there, unless maybe something else happened. Maybe they were caught. Maybe many different circumstances could have interrupted or changed what's happening, but would need further investigation.
Does it go all the way up to a wall
Yes.
that is perpendicular?
Yes, it does.
And I'm pretty sure someone already checked the wall is.
Yeah, to make sure
solid.
it's a real wall. Everyone came and made
Yeah.
sure it's a real wall.
Yeah.
Is there an area behind that wall, Bosch? Is this supposed to be a tunnel?
No, as far as we know, no. We checked to make sure it wasn't like an illusionary wall. I mean, our dwarves touched to know that that's stone that should be inside here. It doesn't seem hollow by any means, but
I mean, what I'm more getting at is there's methods of magic to create stone out of nothing.
Yeah.
So
true.
Was historically, is it known as this was a more extended tunnel, potentially, or?
According to our records, no, this was the furthest that they had had dug yet. It was charted to go deeper before our miners went missing, but we didn't have the chance to do that before they went missing.
How deep was it charted to go?
Another 300 to 400 more feet.
I wonder if
Rolf, you want to
there is.
try maybe seeing if we can dig through it a little bit?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
We can try and
Either whoever wrote this dug deeper, or the miners did, and were taken, and this was closed up before anyone else could see. So I think it's worth at least checking to see if we can get through.
Let's try to see if there is something being blown.
The miners who left, who disappeared, did they have any magical means, or were they just?
No, standard miners. Besides, like, the normal gear we give them, which is all here. None of them, as we knew, were registered as magically adept.
Oh, Rolf, a shot.
I'm gonna help him as well. I'm just gonna.
They're gonna try and dig a hole.
Try towards the wall, towards the side nearest the writing.
Yeah.
I am going to try to go near the writing without ruining the writing, and I'm gonna see if I can dig in and see if the writing continues where the wall is.
All right, I want a athletics check and a perception check.
Okay. Athletics and perception. Okay. I'm going to use my new ability. Where is it?
Cocaine bear, activate.
Oh boy.
Cocaine
Tactical
bear holds the
minds, there
DM
it is.
hostage with a gun to his head and says, "Let me win."
Oh, perfect.
Look at
No roll
I'm the
needed.
DM
DM con saving throw.
That's going to be a 20 athletics.
Nice.
And perception.
Mine is so
And then perception, yep. I was so tactical. Oh, don't need nothing on that. That is a 23. No. Looking at the wrong one. No. Actually, that's a 20.
Okay.
A 20 athletics and a 20 perception.
Rolf starts
plus.
to come into a zone as he begins to take one of the tools here, and he starts trying to make a little bit without damaging the writing to see if it continues. And indeed, you clearly see it continues, and you start to see the rest of the phrasing as you start to dig. But then, as you perceive and look up as you're going into this, you notice this is like almost intentionally fragile, and you can see if it's not done correctly, this will cause some sort of cave-in. Almost like a trap, but it's not. It's like it's man-made and natural, and you could see why it'd be so easy to overlook. The entirety of the wall is almost like a perfect replication of what this wall should be, and yet there is something almost mechanical in the sense of like mechanics to the wall that would cause it to collapse. A normal wall would not be built in such a way, or even naturally form in a way that it would be so simple for this just to cave in, and potentially cave in on both sides of this wall.
It definitely continues here, but something strange was done to create this wall, I feel it could cause a cave-in. So I think we better find a way to support any further digging before we knock down the wall.
So this would be unless there's other creative solutions. And I encourage you to go do those as well. This would be more of a team athletics. Rolf already passed his, but if you guys want to brute force with athletics, digging it through, that is an option, and those are athletic checks, part of what you guys can now ponder and how you may want to try and support to prevent this collapse from triggering.
Val, based on what Rolf has uncovered again, how much further do you think it should be? Finish the phrase.
That
Insight
is
check.
a good question. Insight. Sure. 10. Very
Maybe
insightful.
mirror the wall with a 10. So potentially if it's mirrored on the other side, it would be the length of another 100 feet or so.
Oh, wow.
That is quite a long way to support.
It is.
With Go ahead.
Sorry. With the insight that Rolf has provided for us, the way that he has described it as, like, cunningly crafted, it makes me think that perhaps there's a secret button or some kind of mechanism that we're perhaps missing. So I'd like to look around, feel along the wall for any like loose boulders or things that are just ever so slightly out of place that you wouldn't normally see unless you knew it was there.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
God. Duty. I rolled a natural 1 plus 8 for a 9.
You feel around and you feel handholds, but find more of the aspects Rolf pointed out of how it could easily collapse. You get a really good idea of all the little areas of what seem to be a normal, naturally occurring wall. If you push in one place a little too much, dig a little too deep here, how this will easily collapse in on itself, which is annoying. Trying to see if there is necessarily a secret way in does not appear obvious to you, and if it does exist, it's probably not through those standard means of a button push.
I'm gonna call Bosch over and say, you see this, how do you typically deal with cave-ins? I mean, is there materials that you could bring down that we could use to support this that you typically use?
Yes, absolutely, we do. It's a typical method in which we set up this, and he shows a couple of like clockwork materials. He has one of them down here, not many, but it's one of those things that like as you start digging, it puts up basically like a wooden post that you would normally see in mines, but it's like a trigger itself, so it does it as you work, and so it's a little bit more efficient for the stuff that they created that then can support on each side. He looks at the group and he goes, how many do you think you need?
Val said probably another 100 feet or so. I don't know what that relates to you, but...
All right, give me like 40 minutes, and I'll be right back with what 100 feet's worth. So he goes off. These are big, heavy things, though. These have, they take advantage of some of the. I don't know if it necessarily. I don't think pneumatics is the right word for it, but it's mechanical advantage, and gear strength is really where these things take advantage of these. But that makes it extra heavy. It's not made in a way that we would see today with like carbon fiber or plastics. This is just a big fucking chunk of metal. So he goes up and he leaves one guy with you guys. Actually, he probably leaves the two of them. He's like, you two stay down here. I'll be back, as he goes up. As the people are sitting watching just to make sure nothing crazy happens. You are strangers and foreigners, but they already are. They seem receptive to your guys' honest investigation of the area, and they trust Bosch's insight into people. Do you guys just want to wait for the 40 minutes, or is there anything else you want
I
to do?
mean, if we have 40 minutes, then I'll be like, I'll just do another once over to see if I can't find any sort of mechanism to maybe open this safely that whoever put this here must use to get around it.
Sure.
I'm gonna help him and give him advantage too.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
I'm gonna start taking a short rest.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Seems as though I have already used my arcane recovery for the day.
18 investigation. Thank you for the advantage. That helped.
With an 18 investigation, what you find is similar to what was uncovered by Val's investigation on there, but instead, this time around, one of the handholds yourself actually, instead of a secret passage per se, it looks like it's an automatic drop of the wall. It looks like there's something there that could cause the cave in immediately. This is a big red flag to have something that would want to bury whatever's down here. It looks like it was set up more as like a safety kill switch in mechanically speaking here, yeah, than an actual way to try and get through. It's now abundantly clear through multiple checks on this party that this wall was erected in a way to try and keep whatever was down here secret by not any means necessary, but by the most logical means necessary. And a collapse is the simplest way to make sure nothing here gets out.
Okay. Yeah, there's a cave-in button basically over here, so I suggest we all avoid this.
As soon as he points it out, all of you have an intrusive thought saying you could definitely touch it. Wouldn't you want to see the cave-in drop? And then you're able to push that away, which is easy and nice.
Mm-hmm. What I'm gonna do is, like, with the crowbar I have in my bag, like, above it,
yeah,
a decent, like, a foot away from it, I'm just gonna chip a real quick, like, mark, just like a line downward towards it.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I mean, it's, again, a solid wall enough to fool miners, seasoned dwarfs and miners that know the stone down here, that didn't notice that there could potentially be something else on the other side that you guys were able to come through. Surely it was debated and such, but it's tough to question when you're so used to having these innate abilities, and they go up to the wall and they go, yeah, okay, I know that's supposed to be there and that's the right rock. What it doesn't make sense anything else would be on the other side. Whoever did this knew who they were dealing with. Clearly had knowledge that how to manipulate the people that worked here to not go deep.
Okay. So are we just hanging till he comes back?
Yeah, we can fast forward to that if we're all good. It doesn't bother me.
And I'm a little bit stumped. My thoughts right now are like, what are the magic? Like, what means would they use to get past this wall that they've set up as kind of like a hidden wall, hidden pass, kill switch, keep everybody out? Are there ways that they could, teleport past it? Are they trying to get through melt through the stone? Like, how are they getting in? That's what's racking Val's head.
My first thought would be magical means. These are arcane markings, are they not?
True. The trick with a lot of, teleportation magic is you have to be able to see where you're going, or otherwise it can get very dicey.
Well, I think, like you said, maybe they can meld through the stone, or maybe shape the stone in a way that just makes a small hole for them to walk through that doesn't disturb the entire wall. Or
perhaps they are beings whose bodies are able to compress or slurp through small crevices. Heard of beings like that. Sounds very...
Or maybe they can just become ethereal and phase through it. Or maybe they can or gas, or maybe they're able to, target this portion of the wall and make it passable.
I'm gonna take another
sounds-
look at that little pool of fluid. Did it move?
That's some D&D shit.
Yeah, I like the way you said, "Can it move?" And it's just like, I like the idea of also just like, "Oh shit, it found it!" And you guys like, "What? Fucking his eyes!" It's like,
It's just like it sparked my brain when he said like something that could fit into small crevices and like schlorp itself, and I'm like,
"What the fuck's that?"
I'm just like watching
These
it.
alarms
Just
are
see,
ringing.
Is it moving? It's not an ooze, and it's not moving though. Funny as shit, honestly. I like the idea
Not
of like,
Island.
and God, I feel like that was in a show or something. Like all of a sudden they're like, "Wait, he's still in the room," or the thing's still in the room, and all of a sudden the thing's like, "Ah!" Jumps off the wall. And it's just like, what the hell is that doing there? That's some wacky shit.
That's awesome.
Make a perception check at the ground.
That's a D&D sentence.
That's a 13.
You look at the ground.
I'm an experienced
dice.
guy. I've definitely run into an ooze in my time.
Not an ooze. And again, this looks like stuff was clearly dissolved in here, and potentially something maybe below. The ground itself seems to have different layers of colors and textures to them, and potentially maybe even thicknesses. Now that you're actually taking a second to look at this, when you were touching it with your blade, you were more enamored with the burning of it and seeing what the reactivity of it was. Now that you're investigating it more, it's still this top of the pile. There's still a little bit of that like bubbling going on of whatever this acidic nature is, but underneath, there seems to be like a denser material in it at some point that gives it a slight discoloration to the greenish, very dark green at this point because of the way the caves are set up and everything, and down here, but this greenish type of liquid.
Are there any shovels nearby?
Yeah, the miners. Yeah, their gear's there.
I'm gonna go to a shovel.
Yep.
I am.
The shovel comes alive and runs away. No. Fuck, everything's alive. Everything's become alive. You know what? Maybe One Piece. Could be One Piece with the mom thing. Big Mom. Anyway, continue.
I'm gonna ask a question.
Yeah.
Can I consider this shovel like a blunt weapon?
Yes.
I only ask because I can use a bonus action to try and like bond it and make it into a packed weapon effectively.
Oh, interesting. Sure. Then yeah.
To give it a magical nature.
I mean, technically, yes. This is all above board.
And then I'm gonna use that to try and like scoop what's out to try and like sift it around and see what else is in there.
Sure. As you attempt to scoop the first time, you notice you can't quite get it because it's burning like crazy, even though it's reforming and burning. Having it all at once, the surface area on it is causing some particular issues. To really get a good grip of it, I want an athletics check on this to try and to maneuver the substance. It's oddly extremely dense. It feels unnaturally heavy.
I would like to help by when he like pushes the shovel and creates a slight disturbance in the surface area to like use a mage hand to kind of like try and scoop whatever's underneath there and bring it to the surface quickly.
Sure.
And that's a 17.
In coordination with Val, the two of you are able to lift this up slightly, look under at Val as you go to grab and push something up. There is nothing actually to push up. Instead, what you see are carvings underneath in the ground. Very similar looking alchemical carvings that you would see onto the wall. That seems to be underneath whatever this liquid substance is. And then after, like, as you get it up and you try and move it to the side, you find, like, as you go and twist it, it like falls right back into place of where it was, instead of you being able to, like, throw it over to the side. Utterly non-natural in its means. A very strange concoction created here.
Were we able to get a good look at the marking?
I think, Val. And check you.
What do I think? Yes. That marking that is on the ground.
Yeah, what do you want
Does
to
that
do?
mean anything special to me? Anything magical, perhaps?
Oh, I think that's an Arcana check.
That feels like an Arcana check to me. Hey, that's finally my dice showing up 25.
You notice that the thing itself is again like an inverted, bastardized version of the gaseous air spell, similar to is that the right one? It's the one
Gaseous
you fucker.
form?
Yeah, that's what it is. You use when you turned to clouds and were like, I'm not dealing with that. When you went to that temple 5 years ago underground for Xandathar's cousin or whatever. God, how is Tim?
Right.
Anyway,
You have to cross these deadly fields. We fly over them.
oh, cool. Let me just fucking throw out everything I worked on.
So I'll share with my friends. There's a concealed rune for a spell that can turn people into a gas, like we were talking about. So
That
I wonder,
is one of the ideas that we had.
And it is being worn away. You can see that the acid itself is slowly dissolving it through.
It is.
Does
So
anyone
the
have
acid,
any means of...
the acid's eating the rock that it's in
Yes.
slowly.
Yes. Potentially, the acid not only was used to destroy other things, but it is also being used in this instance to try and destroy the rune that is on the ground.
The evidence.
Yep.
Does anyone have a way to remove this acid so that we can access and maybe even use this rune?
Well, it looked like so.
I'll drink.
When Andrus was trying to
Do it,
shovel
buddy.
Give me a straw.
Did it look like it was magically drawn back to where it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he tried to heave
That's
over to the
what I
side,
thought.
and when it did, it like curved back to where it's supposed to
that's
be,
what I
which
thought.
is again
That's what I thought.
not
Okay.
right.
So it's definitely it has some sort of magical connection that keeps the substance in that exact location.
Are there any we've gone over that there are like mundane items all over the place?
Yeah.
I'm not an alchemical specialist, but would there be any reagents that I know of that would be able to properly neutralize an acid?
Make an investigation check.
Yeah.
Don't know alchemy, you say? I have just the thing for you.
Sorry, we're not interested.
All it costs is my life. How about my life? God dang it!
We are not interested.
Ah! Runs away.
10.
10. Unless it was naturally occurring, it is doubtful if somebody created something like this, they would keep a solution to it around to get away from it. Inside this investigation itself, too, it seems like the individual does not intend to return to this place. So that's probably why they were burning everything that was happening, and this hid everything the way they did.
I'm gonna turn to the two dwarves still here and be like, ignore those instances. Things kind of just appear for us at times.
Huh. Okay.
But they go away if we tell them to go away, so.
Noted. You can see one of them was uncomfortable.
Got that over here. Val, remind me. Was the substance itself magical? When you checked
The goop that's on the ground right now? That is magical, yes.
It seems
It
pretty
is magical,
and
It theoretically could be targeted with a dispel magic if anyone had that capability. It's a little bit out of my reach right now, but
I
levels is
have
fine.
nothing of that.
I'm level
sort.
5, but I have 1 level in fighter.
Yeah.
So I don't have thirds yet.
I can't remember how.
Yeah.
So close. So close.
I don't have anything like that. Hmm. I wonder. Why write it down, though? If they know the answer to get through, why write it down? Why risk it? Unless maybe the rune has some sort of use.
Yeah, that's my thought, is maybe the rune is magically empowered.
I pull my sleeve and point to your armor. The runes contain the magic. That's the conduit for. This is how it works.
Yes. Can you read it out loud and see if that does anything?
That's a good idea. Can I attempt to enunciate this rune?
You do and nothing happens.
Okay.
It's simply not a magic, now that you were trying, of simply speaking it into the world and it being real. It seems similar to how magic should work. You have certain components that allow you to execute a spell. You can try and want a meteor storm all day you want, but you got to have the ability and the capability to cast it in order for the full thing to work.
Does anyone know the components needed for that spell?
Don't look at me.
I've heard legends. But I haven't gotten it yet. I'm going to head upstairs and put my kiddos to bed. I will be back.
Yep.
What else can we do?
Let me see. That's some bullshit if I ever saw that. For what it's made up of. That's some wizard shit I've ever seen. I'd like to cast gaseous form. You need a bit of gauze and a wisp of smoke. Smoke's a gas. Where the fuck am I getting a wisp of smoke? You need a wisp of smoke, and then you will become a cloud.
Yeah, I started to become more of a fan of, like, you just don't even need to bother with some of the, like, the non-gold components, because I found out that the majority of components are just puns.
Yeah, they're just jokes. Yeah.
Like the components for Fireball,
it's
bat, guano, and like sulfur, which are 2 of the 3 ingredients to make gunpowder.
Isn't detect magic like glass or something like that?
It's like a hand mirror or something.
Yeah, it's a magnifying glass.
Heat metal is a piece of iron and a flame, so you're literally just taking a piece of metal and heating it.
I mean, it works. I like. I get what Gary was going for. All right, I'll give him that. Like it's. We evolved past this. But yes, that was not the intended.
Yeah, minor illusion is a bit of fleece.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God, there's a ghost here, guys! No, it's just a sheet. Oh, almost got me.
Because you're fleecing a person, you're trying to deceive them with an illusion.
So
silly.
The mining gear was covered in like a powder?
Some kind of more ethereal aura type of deal.
Okay, it was an ethereal aura. Okay.
Could be described as like a feeling like powder, but again, this is like very esoteric. Very strange.
Like a visible aura, not like that the naked eye can see.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Interesting.
And
it's not like a physical thing I can touch.
No. That's why it would again go easily undiscovered by a bunch of underage teenagers.
I'm still taking siesta, so just observing.
Can I try to make a small channel to see if I can get the substance to flow out and away from the rune?
As you dig the channel, you notice it doesn't go anywhere, but you are able to dig a channel next to it.
Okay. I can dig a channel next to it.
If I use like the shovel, can I like continuously just like keep it pushed away, like you're dealing with like the homemade goop?
Yeah,
And
because
just, like,
only because you were able to make it a
away.
magic weapon. Yeah, it's deep down there though, so that's why it's annoying, and you're only getting like little looks of it at the moment. You're not gonna be able to get like a full like I'm holding it all back and the thing's clear on the bottom.
Yeah, but if I'm like pushing it into the channel, maybe I can get more of it out. I don't know. I
Yeah,
probably can.
maybe get a little more of it out, sure, but it's not staying. It has that strange
Yeah,
magical
it comes
binding.
back.
Yeah, like I'm having to like continuously push.
Yeah. So yeah, sure.
Okay.
With the can we get it to a point that the rune is like uncovered?
Much like last time, you get brief moments of it's uncovered, but it won't stay uncovered.
I'll just kind of say like as I'm pushing things away, maybe try touching it when it's cleared.
I mean, I guess I can give it a go.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me a decent window.
Like sync it up. Like I push it away and he touches it.
Rolf, you put your hand in like a cat attacking a small mouse.
Exactly, like a cat, like wah!
And go in there, and as you touch it, nothing happens, but you feel almost a warmth and a connection reach out to you, like it's looking for the other end of the component of the deal. You can feel that almost magical charge that you've known into life and in experiences you've had, that it's almost the way Arcana asks, okay, you want this to happen, I'll give it to you. You just gotta supply the correct means. You need the kindling to start the fire.
Kindling to start the fire.
Look at Rolf, and now he's a slime. We are now starting our new isekai, Life as a Slime.
Yeah. So he's got powers. All right.
Yeah.
He's got consume or whatever it is.
I killed an ancient dragon.
And now my girlfriend will be observing the rest of this from a distance, but will not say a word. But will certainly be watching the series.
Okay. So you mentioned there's like a magical ore that can throw off, like a detect magic, or at least not throw off, but like just obscure and like overload a detect magic.
Like night vision goggles during the day type of idea.
Yeah.
For detect magic usually. It can
and
be
that's
hit or
just
miss.
like
Sometimes
around.
it's fine. You know, like when you're in the Underdark, it could be fine.
Is there any of that around here?
No, I didn't describe that to Val, so there really wasn't anything that
Okay.
was noticeable in that sense.
Okay.
What do we fucking do, guys?
Okay. I don't know.
From my perch
Rolf.
on the other side, I'm gonna shout out to Rolf. Is it flammable?
The substance?
Huh?
I mean, we can find out.
Only
If no one has an easy way to make fire, I can.
I have a firebolt preloaded.
There you go. I think we should all just take a couple steps back, though.
Ty, do you actually do that, or you just go for it?
I do her work.
I'm waiting. I have the firebolt preloaded on my finger.
Uh-huh.
You know, the finger's glowing like
All
ET. It's ready to go.
Ty's been sitting there
All right.
bored out of her mind or patiently waiting, and then finally fire.
What? You mean fire? Fire?
Fire.
All right, everyone.
While
all right,
Rolf has
everyone
just been
back up a little
almost
bit.
alone obsessively. Andros helping here or there, and Val, looking around doing the distraction, but Rolf really digging in. Like Rolf just looking around like, what do we do, guys? Come on, this is great. Everybody else is
And once we get a decent distance away, I'll signal to Ty to go ahead.
I let loose the firebolt.
The firebolt shoots, and it causes a flame, and the flame sits atop the surface of it now.
Okay. It doesn't look like it's burning away. It just looks like it's on.
There's just now like a fire on top of it.
It's like when there's oil.
Yes.
And then it's like on fire.
Not good for the air quality in here. That's for darn sure.
No. Yeah, I will. Oh, jeez.
Ulo, can you snuff
How?
I'm
Yeah.
resting, but I can. Fine. Control flames. I'll put it out.
You do. I'm not going to tax you for that. That is
Good.
Fantastic.
You're literally.
Okay, well, it was worth a try. Thank you for putting that out, Ulo.
Hey, something worked.
Yeah.
At least we know it's flammable now.
Okay. I felt like it
Sort of.
wanted something from me.
All
I
good
wonder.
ideas.
I feel that we couldn't find remnants of what had been put in there before because of it was probably eaten up by the substance.
I have an idea.
Okay.
Hi, what if you do it and you try to invest some magic into it? See if you can channel.
Yeah, I could try.
Any magic?
All right. And
Same thing. Sync it up so like I push it away, he
Yep.
touches it.
yeah.
So what do you want to do, Ty, when you go to touch the symbol?
Can I say the same? Is it the same? Sorry, I did grab dinner and stuff.
Yeah,
But is
you're
it the
good.
same rune as the one that Val said earlier?
Yeah, it's like it's the
It's
same
the one-
gaseous
okay.
form
Yeah.
rune. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the one they're investigating.
Then
right now.
I'll try to say it and
Mm-hmm.
maybe infuse a spell slot into it.
Sure. When that happens, what level spell slot?
Just first for now. We'll see what happens.
As you try, you burn your first level spell, and you feel like you begin to go transparent, but then it's not enough to take hold. You feel like there wasn't enough magic to sustain the spell. Furthermore, it feels like you're finding a way around typically what this thing's actually asking for, but this still works. As again,
it's
this
sick.
feels like a very strange form of like magic, but not. It's magic, but it's not. It's these runes, but it's taking form of arcana, but it's not like taught arcana.
Yeah, it's like I'll try to explain it to the group. It's like half magic, kind of.
Fucking muggles.
How do I explain this? I felt like I didn't give it enough juice, and then it wanted more. And it's just weird. I've never interacted with magic in this way, but I'll give it another whirl. If you're ready, Andros.
Okay, yep.
And I'll try to imbue a third level spell slot into it this time.
This time, it works. The room
Hey.
glows. It's still intact enough, and you turn into a gaseous form. You transform into a misty cloud for the duration, which is an hour.
Can I talk?
But you can like take a 1 minute channel to.
The spell ends if the creature drops to 0 hit points. An
suddenly
incorporeal creature isn't affected. While in this form, the target's only method of movement is a flying speed of 10 feet. The target can enter and occupy the space of another creature. The target has resistance to non-magical damage, and it has advantage on strength, dex, con saving throws. The target can pass through small holes and narrow openings, and even mere cracks though it treats liquids as though they were solid surfaces. The target can't fall and remains hovering in the air even when stunned or otherwise incapacitated. I can fucking stun a cloud. Let's go. while the form of a misty cloud, that's a real Dick DM thing there, baby.
I know,
He's
right?
like, yeah, you're a cloud. Stand. You still have thoughts, don't you?
No,
Wow.
the Eye of Agamotto was open.
Oh no!
My soul.
No. The target can't talk or manipulate objects, and objects
No.
in any object it has while carrying or holding can't be dropped, used, or otherwise interacted with. The target can't attack or cast spells. I don't see shit about concentration. Oh, it's concentration. Just break concentration then. And up to 1 hour. You are now a little gaseous cloud. And you guys see like this barely noticeable wisp because it's a gaseous cloud. It's air. It's a gas. That shit's
Can I,
invisible
like-
to idiots like us.
Can I remold my form into a different shape?
I mean,
And can I change my color?
you don't have a color. And
Can
you're
I have a color?
nope, you're a cloud. No, sir. You cannot manipulate that. I may be the anti-fun police here, but I'm going to say no. You are just
Aw,
gas.
dang.
I'll say in the weird gas infrared spectrum that infrared wouldn't pick up gas, but the equivalent that can see gases as colors, you can change it on that spectrum, whatever that visual spectrum may be.
I'm just trying to be like a purple cloud out here.
You got it. On that spectrum, you are. To their normal visible eyes, you're gas and colorless.
Well, I can't make any sound, unfortunately, so...
No.
Well, we notice him disappear.
Yeah.
yeah.
You see
and we know.
Ty say and then disappear. And Val
And we
would be
know what
like,
spell it
that was clearly the gaseous cloud spell. Like, I
Yeah.
recognize that.
All right, Ty, see if you can get through the wall somewhere.
I'll look around for cracks
Make an investigation check.
or holes.
And this is
or
now the
something.
Ouija board part of the campaign. As Rolf is continuing to stand in an empty room talking to nothing.
16.
As you search up and down, you find in one of the most obscure top corners away from where anybody could check. I mean, it's if you weren't a gaseous form, you wouldn't know that there is the tiniest crack of an opening. As you,
But it's right there.
Yeah, you can go through if you would like.
I would love to do that.
You go through, and it's about 20 feet of solid stone, and you come out the other side, and you find a completely hollowed out and mined cavern over here. It
What the
clearly
heck?
continued from the other side, and it's an additional 80 feet of room.
That's crazy. Is there any sort of mechanism in the room that, like, could connect the two besides the gaseous form, or is that...
No,
that's
it looks
even
like
there?
you can see all the components here to cause the cave-in on the other side. You can see how it's been taken up.
No, I'm kidding. Okay.
What you also
You're on
see
your
on
own.
here
Bye.
are broken vials of strange liquid everywhere. You see hundreds of weird rat corpses everywhere, as well as citizen bodies. And it looks like there's a table that's been smashed in half here, and there's been papers thrown all around. The place itself looks like it has been a bit burned by some strange non-natural fires, and probably this place is being weighed is like it is prepped to be buried alive.
But I found it.
You did.
Are all of the letters, like, all destroyed, or no?
The paper ones, not all of them necessarily. And on the wall, you see the remainder of the alchemical symbols carved into the wall.
Great,
It goes
great,
back
great,
from
great, great.
painted to back carved on the other side. And you can see the completion of this, besides missing 20 feet of stone.
Okay. Can I attempt to... what happens to my stuff when I become gaseous? I'm assuming it just stays...
It's all on you, it said, and you can't use any of
Oh,
it while
okay.
you're in the form, but you keep everything.
I keep everything. All right.
It sounded like it almost like freezes you. Like if you were holding shit, you just like stop like that. You're a cloud, and then when you come back,
It's like wild. It's like wild shape.
exactly.
Everything just goes with you.
Would I know how to, like, de-gasify myself? Like, if I'm concentrating...
Yeah, you're concentrating on it. So I'm gonna say, as a
Would I know how
magically
to
inclined person, you understand what
Yeah,
concentration
Thank
is.
you, thank you. Yeah, so I can degas myself and
Yeah.
fuck around in the room and then
Yeah.
regas and then come. Okay, cool.
You can't regas.
I will.
But
can't
how would you
regas.
regas?
I can't regas.
You have no idea. You got to cast a spell again, and you can't cast that spell. You don't have that spell.
All right.
Do it.
No. Is
Get
there any? Is there any? It's all solid, right? There's
Yes,
no like
it's solid stone.
visible. I can't see through the crack in any way, shape, or form.
No, it's very
Damn.
tiny.
All right. I'm trying to
Only
cheese
what
it.
air could get through it.
Damn. All right. Can I attempt to memorize the rest of the? Would you call it an incantation,
Sure.
or would you call it something different? Okay. Can I at least attempt to memorize that?
Sure, you can give me an intelligence check.
Oh, I am so smart.
Yep.
8.
You certainly feel like you've got this.
I don't got this, do I?
You've got this.
All right. I don't got this. All right. Well, I'll take a pass at the letters and stuff that are not destroyed at the very least first, and then make my way around the room.
Some of the letters they look to be written in very strange alchemical symbols. A lot of the stuff then even goes into crazy scrambles and pictures. A lot of stuff that you would think to see of like the crazy scramblings of dementia patients and such. You would see on some of the later things. And further investigation would be needed physically to get deeper into what else is going on in here.
Is there anything else in the room that would catch my interest?
The citizen bodies, they look really deformed, and you see stitching inside them, and even like some of them have like animal parts attached to them or replaced on them. There seems to be
grafted.
Yes, like very much weird graphic chimera type of stuff to them. And more of that strange liquid is all around here that you saw from the other side, with vials cracked everywhere.
Okay, so seems pretty obvious that this place was. This was intentional, right? Obviously.
It certainly looks intentional. That would be a hell of an accident to stitch somebody up like that.
Are there any important names or anything within those letters that I read, or anything like that that might point
No,
to...
I mean it all reads like gibberish at this point. If anything, it's clearly a language made for themselves. A person clearly paranoid. This is the work of an alchemist, and the alchemist has either created their own or has their own alchemist type of shorthand and writing, and they were here at the very least.
Okay.
Is the alchemist and the plague doctor one the same? Do they work together? Is this something else entirely? That
right.
There's a lot more to that. Who
remains
knows?
to be seen. Yeah.
Nothing here is clearly indicating that.
All right. I'll make my way back through the crack, and I'll degasify once I'm back with the party and make a report on my findings.
Sure.
I will attempt to recite the rest of the the incantation, but it's not going to go well.
Yeah, Val looks at you and she's like, "That's not it for sure." As you start going through, you start like saying some of the things, and you're like, "But was it actually?" And you're like, "It was definitely an E," and you're like, "No, couldn't have been an E. Wait." It's just the way, and like the way Arcana is, and like Val's like really interested and earnestly on your side until like a quarter of the way through this, where it slowly went from a sentence of just like, "It's a beautiful day outside," and you get like, "Why?" She's like, yes. And then it goes to like, "Blorpleberries are the most delicious brand of fruit in pebbles, and she's like, no, wait, no. We're
No.
way off.
Yeah, no
this,
shot.
this is now we're in gibberish land.
It would also start in the middle of something because there's 20 feet of
Yes.
freeze.
Yeah, right.
Yes,
It would
indeed.
just be
Yes.
All right, cool. Yeah, and I'll tell them about the vials, more of the ooze.
And by then,
weird
it's been
grafted-
40 minutes,
Yeah,
and
yeah, I'm sure.
there is a plethora of those clockwork machines have been brought down here by Bosch as he loads them in and gets them ready for you guys. And you guys still have your time to decide on what you want to investigate or not, but he has at least brought that resource to you guys now.
I mean, I think we should just maybe start carefully working through.
Yeah, that's because if we're only able to get in there through that spell, only some of us can do it, and it seems like you're not able to.
There's no way for me
No.
to recast a spell.
Yeah, and like once you're in there, you kind of just have to be a gas, which isn't
That is
helpful.
true.
So
That's true. I mean, unless you want to get stuck in there, which I didn't want. So
definitely do not want that.
yeah.
So I think the easiest way for us to investigate is to do the hole and carefully support the tunnel we make with these devices.
Yeah.
Go ahead, and everybody else give me athletics checks.
Everyone else?
Yeah, you already did yours a while ago for a 20.
Okay, and we're just gonna keep that, all right?
Yeah, I mean, that was
No, I'm happy with that.
oh, man, my word.
That's a good roll.
That's a 22 for me.
Okay.
Oh,
Anybody else
Everybody
helping?
Am I just doing this all alone, guys?
Sure looks like it, buddy, bucko. It's gonna take a while.
I have 16 with guidance.
Okay.
Somehow got a 16. All right.
Okay, and Bosch will help. Oh, wow. It's like a 28 for Bosch.
Bosch is so
Oh my
athletic.
God.
Well, I
Bosch,
mean,
you
it's
dog.
part of also he has advantage and benefits because he is like the best miner.
Okay.
Because he's Bosch.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's not also like Michael Phelps diving athletics, whatever he might be.
He's
He's
saying
also
he's
an
the Michael
Olympian? No. He's really good at mining.
Phelps. He's the Michael Phelps of mining. Got it.
So gonna take about like an hour of your guys' time. To mine this safely. It's definitely a success. With all those high rolls, you guys get to immerse yourself and work in through the mining process with these with Bosch, and you get a little bit of appreciation for how they do things and how the safety works and the bit of the art as Bosch points out to you like some of the ways to safely mine and some of the tricks to make it go a little faster. But when you have delicate situations like this, how they have precautions and methodologies to reduce the risk and how to prevent collapses like this. And in time, when you guys get to about that 20 feet, it cracks open and it's hollow enough. All the materials are stabilized in here. You've created a smallish, but a walkable or crouchable for the taller folks in here, doorway that you've carved through to get to the other side of this place, as now everyone is able to see what's going on this side.
Excellent.
Let's take a break there so that Val has a chance to maybe come back and investigate this with the group as well, that you guys have now solved this half of the puzzle.
Hell yeah.
Yay!
Good job, everybody.
I now
Nice job.
murder everybody.
Ready.
All right, we're back. You guys are traveled to the other side, and what you now see is the broken table with all the papers laid out and all the different writings. It looked like someone maybe even like broke it in half. You can see that there is more of this acid laid out everywhere and broken vials laid out. There is all sorts of bodies around here, that of citizens, and it looks like that of maybe one or two of the miners here that have grafted to them different parts of like animal parts or beings. It looks like some of them might have had their teeth replaced with the fangs of a wolf. Their eyes replaced with the eyes of maybe a basilisk, all sorts of really just crimes against beings here. Type of experimentation has gone on. And there is a pile of dead rats as well that look all cut up and messed up.
How big is this room?
It goes 80 feet down. So it's the same height as the previous room, which is maybe 8 feet tall. But
it's strewn with all this stuff all over, like all the way 80 feet, or is it just like near the?
I'd say
entrance?
probably split up where the thing is broken, the table is broken by it. Then you have all the glass broke down, and then all the bodies are piled at the far end, both the rat bodies and the chimera bodies. On the wall is the entirety of the alchemical writings is on that wall.
And when
with
we were
20
digging,
feet of it
did
obscured.
When we were digging, did we uncover any more of that, or?
You could try if you wanted to go that way with it, and not in the center of it, for stability-wise. If you wanted to go from that side, you guys, fuck it. You guys rolled high enough that you could have easily done that, where you've gone that side and uncovered the entirety of it. So the entirety of the alchemy can be visible.
Now that the entire formula is visible, can we ascertain more specifically what its nature is?
Give me a motherfucking arcana check, you little bitch!
I'd like to guidance.
This is somebody's wedding photographer, by the way. This is somebody professionally who they hire for for interviews and such.
Okay, 30.
Oh, okay.
My God.
You know the entirety of everything.
Thanks, Ulo.
I'm in fact
Anytime,
not your
friend.
real dad. You figured it out. What you find is, this appears to be some sort of alchemical ritual. It is being used specifically to try and experiment with binding life forces. Yeah.
You mean like taking the life force from a person and putting it into a thing?
Yep.
Like soul jars. Like got a little tchotchke that has Chad's soul kind of thing.
Could be that. Could be other things. Just the general ability to take a soul from one thing and put it into another thing.
Soul transference. Hate that. That's not natural.
Sounds mad lichy. You know what I mean?
Don't worry, the other group
I,
did lich stuff, so you're all good. You guys are free. I ain't doubling up. No double dipping anymore. We get Crimson Rose when that happens. No more of that shit.
I was wondering. I was kind of like, soul stealing.
No.
Are we doing the same arc?
Our own thing.
So I share with the group, this is very disturbing, unsettling. The glyphs on the wall, the formula seems to be hinting at someone trying to take the soul from a living being and shunt it into something else. It's not natural, it's perverse.
Huh.
Soul binding.
Place seems a bit dicey.
Hmm.
I'm gonna grab a good berry and give each person good berries.
No.
So nice. Take your fucking good berry. You're full for the day. Dude, if you could just
Like
good
they
berry your
connected.
kids, I bet Luke and Zach couldn't sign up fast enough. Just be like, I'll give him one berry, not deal with that fuck for the rest of the day, and know he's got his nutrients. Here you go. Here you go.
You know, kids are wild. They'll like not eat for 2 days and then eat the portion of 6 people the next day. That's wild.
I'm a growing young lad, dude. You scaring your dad. That's what you're doing.
I swear Marty eats bigger breakfast than most days. It's ridiculous.
If you don't eat, they take you away. Is that what you want? Why are you yelling? Fuck!
eat the pancake. You liked the pancake yesterday. Why don't you like the pancake now?
Today, fuck, I put sugar, I put chocolate on it. What do you fucking want? I have to go to work. My blood pressure.
Looking pretty good.
You get into the stuff where it's like, I want a peanut butter and pickle sandwich.
Fucking give it to the kid. Give it to the fucking
Sure.
kid.
You give it. They take one bite. I hate this.
Yeah, me too, buddy. Me too. Me too. No, you're fine. You're fine. Into a pillow. 20 years from now, Dad, why are you so fucking weird? Why you gotta be like this? You know, I was once nice, until you broke me 20 years ago. And the cycle
I was a
continues.
patient man, I thought.
When I was a young boy, I was too hard on my dad.
The cycle of violence continues.
Yep.
Mhm.
Or 20 years later, man, that was weird.
So I wonder.
Yeah.
I wonder if the soul binding or the soul transfer has to do with these, combined creatures over here, chimeras. I'd like to investigate them and see. I assume these were made post-mortem.
Make an investigation check.
I'm walking over there with Rolf. It's like 80 feet away, right?
Yeah.
Sit on the other side.
Yeah. And I say you guys you don't have to go crazy. You can walk around the acid class. And shit.
Group up.
It's a 16.
You start investigating, and you're seeing all these rat bodies that have been cut open, some sewed back together. You see even the rats themselves. They seem to have all sorts of strange mutations on them. They seem either larger in one area, or hands really big here, or the eyes are bulging out. It's all really gross and very harmful to animals. It would not go well with many animal lovers in this day and age. When you start investigating the one of the minor bodies, who's got the wolf teeth and stuff like that, as you begin to check over the body and see what's going on with it, you see its eyes turn and look at you.
Do I see that?
Wow.
Oh yeah. You notice the eyes just look at you.
I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire in this range.
Sure.
So any creature
Yes.
has to make a dexterity saving throw, or be enveloped in the Fairy Fire. But
They're all fail in the sense of you would get the feel from all of these bodies here. All fail. They have no dex.
Yeah.
We'll call it 4 bodies right now. It's not 2 minors, 2 citizens.
I don't like how you said right now.
It's very valid to say.
You just slipped that in there and thought I wouldn't notice.
I've hurt you guys.
I was also unnerved by that. But I was so used to it, I just moved on.
So
No,
just
I've
outline
heard-
everything.
I've
I was
heard
like,
my
we'll
friends
find out what he
deeply.
means. We'll find out what he means later. Oh god.
It just outlines
So
everything right now, so that we can see there's no surprises.
Yeah.
So it
There's-
looks, but it does not move.
No, its eyes follow you. Wherever you're moving, you see the eyes continue to follow you.
I see,
Can
I see these
I-
bodies. I see him cast Fairy Fighter, and a bunch of bodies just light up like fucking Christmas trees.
Yup.
My long sword is out. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Can I kneel down by that one and
You're already
take a
kneeling in that
pulse?
sense. And
Yeah, can I take a pulse?
Sure.
Check the pulse?
Yeah, no pulse.
No pulse.
That's that's worse.
okay. I wave my hand in front of the eyes.
They're following it. They're following your hand.
Do I see emotion behind the eyes, or is it just
Not at the moment. The face seems frozen, rigor mortis type of deal.
Okay. And no inhaling. I don't see any
No.
breathing.
Nope.
These things definitely do not seem alive. No pulse, no breathing. Doesn't seem to move. The eyes, though. I'm gonna take. I don't know if I have like a pinprick or just something like small to like prick them to see if they like react.
Okay. You pinprick, and
Yeah.
they don't react. A little blood comes out,
Nothing.
and it's like blood. What you do notice is there's actually like tons of incision points all around the arm. Now that you look at it, like pull the sleeve up, and clearly there was like blood injections and withdrawals all over this creature.
So my thought was, I wonder if this person created these creatures and then tried to put a soul into them.
Sorry, let me just I throw like a blanket over the thing's face so it's not watching us anymore. Okay, I was very distracted. Please continue.
There's three more bodies, by the way. You guys can.
Yeah. I was gonna
like
move to
Val,
the
as
next.
you do that, you look over, and the other bodies, you can see there's like eyes looking at you.
God, I hate that.
Hate it.
So my thought, there are, mutated creatures. Like, I find it hard to believe this was done to something living. So my thought is maybe they took two, dead creatures and combined them in this way, and then tried to put a soul into them to bring them back to life. And I'm wondering if they scored a small success, and that's why the eyes are following us, but obviously it was not perfect.
So, Reed, when we came in here, you mentioned that the room is pretty torn up. Like a table smashed, paper strewn all about the room. Riffing off of what Rolf just said, is it possible that they found success and then their success escaped, and this is their attempt to cover up all the evidence?
Make an investigation check.
I will assist with that.
Sure.
Would you like to roll?
Yeah, I have a pretty good one. I'll roll too.
Okay. 18.
As you begin to look around, you begin to see a cloaked figure standing by the doorway, similar to the one you've seen multiple times over. And you hear inside your head, and then you blink and it's gone. Anyway, you keep investigating the area. And
I'm sorry, hold on.
What's up?
Said what in my head?
My rival. Anyway, so as we're moving on, you investigate, and it doesn't seem like there's no footprints. There's nothing clear that any like creatures or successes or anything like that went on a rampage through here at all. What you do notice is, again, all the scribblings and papers. All of it's covered in what looks to be some sort of like alchemy language. Sorting through there, you even can find what looks to be like it tried to be burned, but the outside of the leather journal that you find in here isn't. There is like a carve of a bird skull basically imprinted on it, but like almost like pressed into it and flattened, a literal bird skull. And that has pages that you can see more of this alchemical writing inside there. But nothing clearly shows any creatures that survived and maybe got out. And then no struggle like that.
Is that a spell book? Is that a spell book you just described to me?
I don't know. Do you want to invest? Well, I mean, like, peek through it. Do you want to?
Well,
touch the book, and then all of a sudden, the demon god of Vile just like, back again, bitch. Give me your next finger.
First, real quick.
Yep.
I'm gonna use the spell slot. Cast Identify immediately on that. And
yeah.
What
is that book? What was that book?
It is a. It seems like a leather journal, a non-magical leather journal.
I open the book.
It is actually the Necronomicon, and everyone knows.
Ah, he got me.
Oh,
I don't even know what that shit does. I'm just using buzzwords. Woohoo! You open it and it's just more of the scribbles. Like I described to the group of some of the piece of papers. The deeper it goes, the more it looks like more like dementia drawings, type of scribbles and such like that. But early on, looks like meticulous note taking. But it's in alchemy, and it's you don't speak alchemy.
This is just my gut. But what if somebody was trying to do something good, right? If somebody was trying to do research on how to bring somebody back to life, but they just couldn't do it, so they kept trying worse and worse things, and then we wound up here.
I don't know how
Sounds
you
like
end
they
up
started
making.
with good intentions, but yeah.
Nah, I don't think that's it. You don't make monsters like this if you're just trying to bring someone
Yes,
back to life.
let's just
That's-
accidentally dissect animals and humanoid entities.
I don't disagree. It's wild, but
Like, that's extra steps that they wouldn't need to do if they were just trying to bring someone back to life. Like, why do that unless
they might
it was
want
important?
they might
I'm
want to
gonna-
try and perfect their craft before they do the real thing on the person
But
that's
they could
important
just-
to them.
They could just do it with a dead body. Why mutilate them and turn them into chimeras? Why combine creatures like that?
I'm gonna
I don't
turn
know.
to Bosch.
Yes.
So what's I want to just add, what is your thought on getting the authorities involved down here? I mean, I know it's your guys' guild, but this seems like a very important.
At this
crime
point,
scene.
I think this is beyond us. I'm not so proud as to understand what's going on. Seeing things without a pulse stare back at me and follow me is enough unnerving to try and get authorities involved. This could be something unrelated to what we've experienced as well. This could be a completely new threat. This chamber shouldn't be here, and what you found has been a great service to the guild today.
We should probably get a message over to Detective Tarlin and get them
Yep.
down here to.
We should definitely get
Or
the
this
detective
area.
involved.
And maybe not.
Yes.
Maybe let's just avoid touching any more stuff down here, just so they can comb it over as well,
Sure.
so we don't disrupt anything.
If you don't
Go ahead. Right.
if you don't mind, like, we can have some people go get the detective. I'd kind of like to see if I can decipher any of this. It's either, it might be code. I might be able to decipher it somehow.
Hey, actually,
I'm pretty good at ciphers.
Yeah, Val, let's tag team this.
I'd like to stay here with you as well.
okay.
Okay.
Ty, you and me, and can we take a couple of the miners?
Yeah. That's fine.
And let's go.
Yeah.
Find the
Yep.
detective.
You said that there were incisions on like the arms and stuff.
Yes.
Is that all? Does that appear to be medical, or does any of that appear to be like matching up with some of the alchemical symbols, or like does it seem like they're carved in, or is that like purely just to be able to attach things or get
Just looking at the arm, it appears like a medical precision. Excellent medical precision. But
Right.
there is definitely an idea that there could be more markings on these bodies if you investigate it further.
Well, Rolf, Val, what do you think about
Yes.
moving one or two of these away? I mean,
Moving
can't
them
see
away.
everything. Yeah, they're all piled up. I mean, what
Oh, are they piled up?
Yeah, like, well, it's the four
Okay.
bodies are basically laying over each other, and then the giant rat thing is a giant pile of rats. Call it 400 rats. It's too many.
It's a
rats.
lot of rats.
It's a lot
Guys,
of
that's
rats.
a lot of XP.
Oh my God, he's been farming rats this whole time.
He's been grinding boars in the woods.
It's just a spawner in here. Oh no!
He was solo level.
We're so fucked.
We got a mine 3 blocks left. I can hear it. Get your torches
All right.
ready.
But he didn't have a
Um,
mechanism. He was just waiting for them to spawn, and then one single slash. And then waiting for
God, it's so
one
tiresome.
single slash.
I don't know if touching
I
it
would-
is
I was
Good.
about to say, let's avoid
touching.
touch. So let's, like use some protection over our hands.
Look at this guy. He's got
You
gloves.
should always use protection.
Yeah, that's right. There it is.
That's right.
So I'll
Taking,
she
I'm taking Ty and a
threw-
couple miners.
Yeah, you guys
Yep.
are gone already. You're
Yeah,
going to get the
we're-
thing.
we're
You'll,
out.
you'll be back in an hour.
Cool.
like a blanket over one of them. So
Yeah.
I don't know if we can like wrap the entire thing in there in
Yep.
that blanket and try to just
You'll
like,
take a corner and go under, and then pull it out.
Absolutely.
as like
That's
a
all
sack.
utterly reasonable from what you guys have already done and your level and everything that's going on. I will continue to point out, not necessary a roll. An excellent
and then
idea.
we just
Okay, then we
move
bring it away,
Yep.
and then open it up, and then kind of try to get it, in a good open, like on its back, arms to the sides, nice and like open for us to look at.
Sure. You do that, and again, you're seeing like the eyes are like looking down at you that entire time and following you as this is going on when you do that.
I'm sorry this happened to you. You didn't deserve this, I bet.
It's open right now, but like you'd have to like you see the other arm is similar in that sense, but they're still closed in that sense.
Yeah. I'll use the end of my maul, so like the handle end, to just kind of like lift. If he's wearing a shirt, just kind of like lift it a little bit.
Yes. When you lift it a little bit, you can see there's more markings underneath.
hmm No patterns, just like
Well, it's tough to see right now with just a little peek like that.
yeah. I can go a little higher.
It's kind of a little tight. You can like rip it at that point.
Okay, all right, no. At that point, I'm just gonna. All right, do we want to just cut the shirt off?
We could wait for the investigator, just so
That's a good
everything's
point.
above board.
Sure, that's a good idea.
We sit and wait for 45 more minutes.
No, because I was gonna look at the code.
Oh yeah.
Look at the writing.
Look at Reed, who would put all this other stuff in here literally on purpose, just in case of shit like this. Yes. All right. You guys look at the code. What do you want to do with it? You want to try and crack it?
Yeah, I would
give me
like to
intelligence
see if I can decipher any meaning from it, or decipher
Sure.
any code, or just like if it's written in like an arcane language, if I can kind of
You
decipher
can
it.
do it if you can. You have guidance. Do it good.
And I will give you the help action.
Okay.
And if it would help to lower the DC, I have the linguist feat, which allows me to create ciphers. I don't know if that would
Oh.
be relevant in deciphering one, though.
Yeah. that is typically how intelligence works. So yeah.
Yeah.
I would say if you knew how to create it, you could probably reverse engineer it.
Yes. Okay.
We got Bucko.
What am I doing?
Bucky
Intelligence.
Yep. Intelligence check.
19.
19. You guys spend the next 30 minutes and you have a great breakthrough because Val knows how to create ciphers. And she works hand in hand with you, Rolf, and some of this seems really familiar to like some of your upbringing and some of the stuff that like you learned in the army about breaking down literal codes and ciphers in case you're behind lines and you got something like this and you want to try to intercept this communications. Obviously the by and large of it was like send it back and get the real experts to crack it down, but if that's not an opportunity, try and glean any information is valuable. So as you guys go through this, you don't get perfect translations of stuff, but you get a really decent idea of what's going on. Inside this journal is notations discussing experiments on what looks to be these miners and rats. You guys come across the unnerving fact that there was success, that he or it or they or whatever it was that was working on this was able to transplant the rat souls into the human bodies.
Oh.
You also see that there is a frustration of everything not being perfect as it was drawn up. And better components and vessels are needed. And there is a move that is being made to go find such beings inside the thicket.
There it is.
Trail.
With that, returning is the yoked out Tabaxi with his pipe as he comes in and gives you guys a look, a big like, you got the guild. Like the secret, like, holy shit.
We've been here 10 hours and we've made this much progress.
Yeah, they fucking hate strangers.
Very, very
I don't
tight
know how
about-
you did it. Don't give a shit. I've been having this shit for months. Comes in and they begin their investigation of such as he goes around and begins checking bodies and such. He gives a little look under and he has a little like arcane spell he casts and gets a little light underneath and he's just like, you guys can actually see now underneath that shirt are carvings of Alchemical in the chest of these things, and it goes around to the back and everything. That goes into the more occultish type of vibes and feels in here. Yeah, and the scene is now being taken over by the ongoing investigation into what's going on. And
Poaching our case.
yeah, he gives a good thank you, and he just like talks back and forth about what you guys have found, and whatever you guys want to withhold or tell him, you're able to.
Does the detectives seem entirely forthright?
Make an insight check.
Or most
Four.
honest guy I've ever met.
I mean, he's just you can't get a good read on him. He's a normal dude.
Yeah.
Just doing his job. He's in job mode right now.
There's pools of that stuff that we saw before,
Yeah.
right? Like, I want to cast Shillelagh on my staff.
Yep.
Start poking some of them.
Yeah.
And just be like, are they as rigid as the one we saw before, or is
Yes.
the ones actually moving around?
Yes.
And then there's vials. Do any of these vials have any of? I
They
know
were all
they're
cracked,
but-
broken vials.
Yeah.
So none of them are together, and it's the idea is probably the vials held these liquids in there, and they were all cracked.
Yeah.
Is there any way that we could get a sample?
Right.
You could try.
Next question: does there seem to be anything special about the vials? Before we, or do they just seem like
Attempt.
glass vials?
Just regular run-of-the-mill vials.
Make an investigation check.
Oh god, they're magic vials.
The Vile Monster! You triggered the secret boss!
You touch the vial and a little mouth ramps
Yeah, a
out
little
as,
mimic.
Oh,
the
not
mimic
the vile
reveals
mimic.
itself.
Yep.
Mimics.
Does that mean that whose stuff is like its insides? Ew.
Yeah.
Anyway, carry on.
It was a 13.
13. You feel like there was something to it. You were onto something, but just not high enough. It's all broken glass. Whatever it was, there might have been something more to what was able to contain these, because when you guys try and move them, they're extra heavy. Like I said, this weird
The
dense
vials?
material that's immovable.
It's heavier than normal.
Figure out what these are made of. Maybe we could take a sample.
Val, you're smart. You know things. Identify it.
What is this?
Fucking vial.
It's
Guidance.
It's a vial. I don't know.
It's a
Figure it
vial.
out.
It's a vial.
It's a glass vial.
It's an alchemical vial that you put alchemy supplies in, obviously.
Okay, want to hold it in your hand then.
I hold it in my hand.
You do. It is. Remember, these are all broken. So you get a whole bunch of it, and you're like, all right.
Does anyone have the ability to mend
Uh,
objects?
let me see if I can remember. Nope.
Unfortunately.
It's a
I only
shit
know how to
trip.
destroy stuff in Campbell. Sorry.
Which sometimes is the same thing.
The real destruction was the friendships we lost around the way, along the way.
Yeah. And distort things. but no.
I think
I
I'm comfortable with leaving this goop here. I think we have kind of ascertained that it's an acid that is intent on its purpose, right? It would be useful to have, but I don't know that we have anything that could take it. Let me see. Let me look at my inventory. What do we got here? I don't have anything. I got the fighter starting equipment.
Relatable.
I will show
Oh,
the
he's not here.
detective Detective Tarlik our translations from the notes.
This is excellent work. My goodness, this would have taken me months to crack. Good for you. My goodness. Alchemy symbols showing up more. We've seen this many times of late. This seems to be in connection to our Blake Doctor problem. We've been seeing this on the bodies that do show and where they disappear. These are the first sightings of bodies in quite a while, but this is exactly how we've been seeing them, but not as twisted as this. This is upsettingly twisted. I think this makes sense that they went to the Wicked Thicket. Would it not to you as well, that they must have redone shop after either we were getting hot on their trail or they just lost what was valuable to them here? It seemed like to these translations, they weren't getting the results they wanted.
I mean, that's what the story we were told in Dawn Call, is that everything kind of centered around the Wicked Thicket.
This tracks.
Seems like we know where we must go.
Is there anything here, Detective, that
Into
you
the
see
thick
that,
of it.
that could help us? I mean, if we're gonna go follow him, I don't really know weakness. Don't even really know what to look for other than mangled body.
Looks around, he's just like, yeah. We haven't seen this individual. We've only had rumors from this individual, and they've left quite a mess behind, but nothing here is clearly beneficial to potentially tracking them, except this journal is the best thing we have. This is their handwriting and clearly their use, and the pages around here. That's the best link we have to a one-to-one thing besides the carvings and works of their bodies. And it is the same of handwriting of the two as well. The handwriting matches from the alchemy symbols to the carvings on the bodies. You guys do feel like you could have done something with the acid, but you had your shot. Me as the DM let you know there was at least two solutions that neither of you guys were able to get, so that's okay.
We didn't
With
need
the
it.
acid, I want to try something real quick. So I want
Sure.
to catch it on fire again.
Yes.
And then just control flames. I just want to like make the smallest, hottest flame I can possibly make and see if
Yes.
it does anything to the acid.
No. You feel like the fire's almost like oil and water. Totally being rejected by the acid.
What if you covered the whole thing in fire and then transformed into something fiery that was able to withstand it to transport it somewhere?
You could make a perfect
you could make
sphere of
you
fire.
could make a file of fire, basically.
How?
You're like good at fire stuff, right? Figure it out.
Your ways are unknown to me.
You do fire, right? You do magic. You can do whatever with fire. That's your thing, right?
Fire boy.
Am I offended or happy? I don't know right now. It's highly of me, but not how that works.
It just says into the thicket. It doesn't mention any specific direction.
Nope.
Or anything like that.
No. Does it?
Very descriptive.
Does
I
it?
asked the
Let's see.
detective.
Wait. Nope. Okay, it wouldn't be mentioned in there, so no, we're good.
Dang.
How vast of an area is the Wicked Thicket?
You can get
I'm
lost in
asking.
it with ease. This is something that, I mean, it is 5 to 6 times the area of Golden Suede, so it's something you could go for weeks wandering to try and find. Like we said, the creatures in there have been quite upset as of late, and the investigations have started burning back some of the Wicked Thicket because they were coming into the city and causing issues. Animals and insects and creatures alike were very hostile towards any beings.
It's concerning. I suppose
I'm
we'll have to be on our
feeling-
guard.
I have a feeling it can't be a coincidence.
They were not always like this. I do not think it
Must
is a
be
coincidence either.
Hmm.
Coincidences, you say? I have a special recipe for coincidences.
We're not.
Sorry, we're not
In
interested.
Stage.
You're not even interested in a coincidence recipe? That's weird. It's strange. It's esoteric.
Bye bye.
You could almost call it a coincidence.
He folds in on himself and disappears.
You.
He literally dies.
So what do we do about that? And I point at the humanoid rat thing with a presumed rat soul.
Hmm.
No idea. That's a problem. That's for sure.
Is there a cleric or something? Good.
We definitely have those. They are awfully busy as per usual, but also, with all the disease and outbreak that we're constantly worried about. But this is top priority. We can get somebody on this. But
help
even
with
I worry
research.
of what to do with this because what happened to the human souls attached to this? The dwarven souls inside here. Where did they go? Are they just gone and replaced, or are they
Maybe
in the
that
rat
pile of
bodies?
rats.
From
I'll
the
look at
studies
the
that we've
rats.
had so far,
Yeah.
would it be a body swap?
It does not, from the notes, sound like a body swap, but it does sound like you have to remove something to put something in. You got to scoop out something to put new scoop in.
That's potent.
And where those souls went,
Who knows?
it wasn't just like, and they're destroyed. It was just like, took the souls.
Soul World.
Soul World! It's just, I forgot the name of the bone guy from One Piece just playing at a concert.
Brooke.
Brooke, yep.
Soul King.
Just
Do we,
It's just- yep,
do we get
Brooke.
the idea that the souls were taken out in order to put in the rat soul?
Yep.
Or do we get the idea that these people were dead and then a rat soul was put into them?
The first. There's no sense
The
anymore that
first.
these people are dead. And medically speaking, I guess at this point, since this is basically over, and I don't know how your group would check this, they're not undead.
Okay.
But they're not alive.
I guess
I
we
mean-
can check that as in, like, they're not decomposing.
The rats are.
The rats are
Okay.
decomposing. Okay. So I think it's safe to assume the rats are dead.
I mean, these things are fucked up though. Like they're clearly malnutrition and starving. They've been just sitting here, so they're dying.
Oh, interesting.
Well, I got nutrition for it. I'm gonna stuff a good berry in its mouth.
The eyes stare at you as the good berry goes in. Whether it is eyes of joy and thankfulness, eyes of hatred and malice, or the eyes of a rat that doesn't know what the fuck's going on, who knows? That's up for you to decide. In this instance,
Is it?
you certainly
Wait,
project
wait,
any
wait, wait, wait,
emotion
wait,
you
wait.
want onto it.
Wait. Can you speak with animals?
Yeah, you're like a fire person.
Two
Can't you
animals.
speak? Yeah, can't you speak with them?
You can speak to them. They don't
Do
talk
they?
back.
Do they speak back? They don't.
No.
That's kind of weird.
That's weird.
But yeah, go
That is
for it.
weird.
You want to speak with animals?
best I can do is try to speak Sylvan to it.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
Okay.
I assumed.
Wow.
Racist.
Can you speak with animals?
No, I can't. It's a
Dang.
talent that I don't have.
I can't either. I can
All
speak
these
common
things
to
that-
them.
Everybody all worried about their combat builds, and yet here we are with all these other useful things right now.
Hey, I have useful spells.
Yeah, I know.
I can get more money.
You have every
I
reason, though,
can-
also for the combat stuff, for my combats. The other group faced. Did Hunter tell you anything about that or no?
No.
They faced quite the adversary last session. It was a set piece, and they had no hope of winning.
Oh,
To
good.
be fair, the sorcerer's
Did they win?
spell list is
They
very
survived.
Ah,
combat
yeah.
heavy.
Nice, that's a win. So,
Alright.
if Dwarven has the scene under control and is contacting the proper authorities,
They're
perhaps,
here, yeah.
perhaps it is best if we prepare for a journey into the thicket.
Sure.
Yeah.
You guys leave?
What say you all? Is there anything more that we would like to do here?
Well, if we came back tomorrow, I could speak with.
I mean, if you want to do that, we can. We know it's here now. It's just, I don't know. It's up to you guys. I am personally of the thought that we should probably head into the thicket and
It certainly doesn't
Cut
seem
the head
very
off the
chatty
snake.
to begin with. So
yeah, no.
Yes.
Well,
If it can't move, I highly doubt it can formulate speech.
yeah, well, yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
We could come back tomorrow.
But if there's all these animals acting weird and running out of the thicket, it could be useful to talk to them.
That's true.
Yeah, maybe the thicket natives have an idea.
Hmm.
That's a good point.
Just a thought.
certainly.
We are exiting the cave. The mine.
As you leave and you go back up the elevator, you hear a buzz that outsiders were allowed into the mines, and then the detective finally got in. There's gossip afoot as people are
Oh no.
fascinated to see of all these crazy changes that are going on. As you guys get outside, I need the entire group to give me con saving throws.
Oh god, we're
Shit.
cooked.
On save.
Yes.
It's only a 24. I'm fucked.
No!
19.
The
I
20?
rolled a natural 1 for a 7.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Wow.
Let me check my feats, buddy.
Oh, fuck this. What?
He's
Oh.
gonna save me.
Wait a minute. Wait
He's gonna
just a
save
gosh
me.
darn minute.
Bountiful love.
No.
Bountiful luck. Oh,
I
you can
counterspell
reroll
it for DM's wrath.
Ooh, got a 17 that time for a 23. Thanks,
You
bud.
feel like you were really like about to die to whatever this was.
My
but then
heart
suddenly,
seized in my chest, but then I was fine.
and then the power of friendship saved you.
I'll know.
Okay.
Oh, this character's great.
I was scared there. I was about to lose another finger.
I won't play anymore. This game sucks.
This guy's great.
11 for me.
Oh, cool. Okay, we can keep going.
11.
All right, everybody. As you get up and outside, you get some good fresh air in you, and as the sun hits you, Rolf, you projectile vomit like
Ooh.
black goo, and you begin sweating profusely and feel very sick.
No.
Oh, wow.
Oh god. That's not good. What does the
That
goo
is
look
not-
like?
Like tar,
Ugh.
but like
I'm
really,
getting
really
to-
like cakey battery like tar.
Don't like that.
I
Is
just
there
like-
other?
Everybody get away
So,
from it for a
Are
moment.
these
Yeah.
back? Everyone back.
Mm-hmm.
Are these symptoms in line with the plague?
Yes, that is hitting the city. Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
he's
Okay.
cooked.
I'm
before I back off, I'm gonna cast Lesser Restoration on him. See if it does anything.
That cures curses, right?
No.
What does it do?
It does a lot of things.
Conditions. It does conditions.
Those conditions, but not curses.
Yeah.
Disease.
Yeah, remove curses.
I think it can do illnesses though.
Was
This is
it? Was
true.
it?
Lesser Restoration. 1 second.
Yeah. I could probably look it up.
You
I'm
look
an
it up.
adult.
Yeah, he's a big boy. Dang. Bro got the boobons.
Yeah.
I hate to see it.
You hate to see
Sorry,
it.
Ryan. I hope you weren't too attached.
Yeah.
Ulo puts out his hand, casts Lesser Restoration, and you begin to feel better.
It cures illnesses, I was pretty sure.
You feel as though if this progressed further, this would not have been enough to cure you. But you feel confident that because it was caught so early, that this spell absolutely takes care of whatever was hitting you before other negative effects would have started taking hold.
I'm assuming there's like some sort of magical glow or something that happens when he casts a spell.
Yeah,
It's like
whatever.
a fire envelops him. Yeah.
Alright.
I imagine it's
You
not the
projectile
normal
vomits and
fire
then catches
flame.
fire.
Was that
Dude,
Ulo
okay,
was
wait,
like,
time.
nope,
No, shut up for a
boom.
second. Wait a minute. No, I need this cinematically in my head of the entire group just sitting here. And Rolf's like, back up, wait a minute. And Rolf's like, I got this. Burn! He just charred Rolf's
Kill
body.
it with
Everyone just looked
fire.
like, you just fucking killed Rolf?
Rolf's gone, guys.
And then all of a sudden it's just like, oh no.
the disease.
And the fire goes away and Rolf's like, dude, I feel great. And everyone's like, what was that? Why would you what? Tell him what? It's just
Wait, that is
absolutely lovely on brand. I gotta go back to my feet.
exactly the end of season 2 of Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
He was the
I
doom
would-
bot all along.
That's why I had to ask. I was like, wait a minute.
You guys should be used to this at this point. I mean, come on.
It's still a little sudden, you know.
It's still a bit jarring.
Oh
It's
my God.
sometimes it's hard to tell which of the flames are like the attacking flames and like the healing flames.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
Generally, if I'm hitting one of you, you're yes.
Yeah, but it's all green though. It's hard to tell.
Thank you for the fast acting. I think that did the trick.
Yeah,
Wow.
I had the ability to do it, and I don't know. Thought maybe I'd catch it myself by touching you, but it's worth a risk.
Well, I
Oh.
appreciate it
Well done.
very much. Thank you.
Very brave. Nice job.
So you
Stay
could do
neat.
that, but you couldn't cover the goo in fire. I see how it is, Ulo.
I cast flaming spear on top. About this covering fire.
I just die.
I'm
Yeah.
casting it on you. That means it's one of the healing ones. Just
This one kind of hurts. I don't know.
Disintegrate.
Slowly taking damage.
just hasn't kicked in yet, Ty.
I like keep touching it. trying to get-
Cleansing you.
It's like icy
cleansing,
hot. It
don't
burns a little
worry.
bit at first, but then it'll start healing.
Minus 2
Mhm.
HP.
We gotta make
minus
sure to
4
see the
HP.
bone first. That's how we know it's clear.
I'm like half out, guys. It's not healing.
It's almost there. Just hold on.
You're being
Just hang on.
purified. Tell me if you see the sun god. All right, you guys can continue while I.
Well,
You are
I
healed,
suppose in that case, anybody know what caused it? I mean, obviously we were in that disgusting pit, but
Might be the goo
It could be the bodies we were exposed to. It's
or
all very
that.
Disgusting.
stay near me, I suppose.
Yeah.
I'll hug Ulo.
Do we want to camp on the outskirts of town so we can shorten our journey time, or do we want to take up? What time of day is it? Sorry.
8 p.m.
Oh, nice. So we could rest the night and then journey into the thicket and the safety of civilization.
We could go to the tavern. We could go to our new contraption.
Oh yes, we have
check
a
out the
house.
contraption. Contraption. Contraption.
I do have to say I'm interested in checking out our wheels.
I've got cards we could play too.
I say we camp out on the outskirts of town next to the Wicked Thicket in our new
Contraption.
road.
I'd be down for a
agree.
game. I'd
We
be
need
down
to
for a
name it.
game of cards. Let's go.
Wait, you have cards too?
I don't know if I actually have cards.
How'd
I
you
think
say?
he's just
Cards I
down to
have. Let's bet
play.
your souls.
Oh wait, no, I do. I've got them in here. Yep.
Sorry, we're
Oh
not
no,
interested.
we're good.
He's already
Yeah.
got him.
I
He
got-
plays
I-
52 pickup with himself. Oh shit! This wasn't actually trying to sell you anything. He was just an aspiring magician and really bad at it. You broke his.
Oh, he's
No.
just going to community college.
Oh no.
That
was
didn't work
his,
out. That broke its heart, and here we go. It's all over again. It's happening again, Mom.
He's
That
gonna
was
be
his
an
capstone.
accountant now. We crushed his dreams.
Let's head to the fortress.
Contraption.
You guys head there. You remember? Did we give it a name?
We
I don't
haven't
think we
named
We haven't given a
did.
name. What about
the
the spirit?
Bastion yet.
Did the spirit
We have a
name?
butler who's named Lore.
That's what-
Lore.
That's true.
Yeah.
It was not a name, but it's called it was called a rolling fortress.
Yep.
What-
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was? I forget what we had the full name for lore. It was land operating something entity.
Yeah. Maybe roving or roaming, something like that.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Okay. But yes, our little AI assistant was
Yep.
lore.
Lore. Yeah.
Okay. 1 second. Talk amongst yourselves. Lore-wise, or whatever.
All right.
Role
Yeah.
play. Do what you're supposed
Dang, that was some crazy goo that came out of you.
Hey, that rhymed.
Damn
That
straight.
was disgusting.
How you feel?
Yeah.
I feel much better now, but I felt awful.
It was wild how quickly it snuck up on you.
Yeah.
I don't know where it came from. It just hit me all at once.
You didn't
Anybody
feel like weird inside the mines or anything like that?
I felt fine. Didn't feel any different until
Just as soon as we came
right then.
outside.
yeah.
Was there a trigger?
I mean, it happened when we were, going from the mine to outside, but that could just be a coincidence.
Hmm. So we stay out of the sun,
Stay in the darkness at all times.
like vampires.
I don't think that's a solution.
I can cure vampirism.
Apparently.
Your power
All
continues to grow
Gloomhaven is
daily.
like that.
How's that for lore?
But I think we all should take some, since we're going to be working on this type of mission, on this type of job, I think we should all take precautions and
Oh, for sure.
make sure that we are staying clean and healthy and trying not to catch anything. So I think we kind of proactively keep ourselves clean as much as possible. I think we were given a bunch of sanitary stuff.
It was like
So
standard.
having just thrown up, I'm going to
Yeah, you
use
should
some of the
probably.
cleaning stuff to clean up.
Yep.
Maybe,
It's like
maybe
this
we should
happens
all take a
often in this
shower.
city. You have exactly the things you need.
All right, everybody, scrub down before we enter the vehicle so we don't
Yeah.
contaminate it.
Yeah,
Yep.
don't contaminate the vehicle. Let's scrub down.
You guys approach, and it looks at the moment like a fortified carriage at this point. It seems like it's in its most basic state to you guys, as it was described to you as upgradable over time. As you
How
go
much?
to open it, you have to put your. Would you say how much?
Yeah.
How much to upgrade it?
Keep going. Keep going.
I'll think about it. Give me a second.
You've got to read more into bastions before we can start upgrading this thing.
That's really true, actually.
That's fair. Just let me roleplay, damn it.
As one of you goes up and puts your hand on it, it welcomes you. It feels your warmth and knows you, and you feel the familiar winds now of nostalgia from your past, brung to this present of now knowing this is your home.
That's
As
so
you
nice
guys
and
walk in, the fortress's interior seems to adjust based on who walks in. So as Andros walks in, it looks similar to his home. But then as Rolf walks in, it starts to look similar to his home, and it starts splitting up. As each of you guys walk in here, it begins almost learning about you and then recreating sections for each person. Excuse me. It is cozy and regal and aesthetic with wood-paneled walls, soft glowing lanterns, and enchanted windows displaying beautiful scenery in some places with large mosaics that have your portrait emblazoned on that glass window in between other ones. They're much larger and they almost look like doorways or gates.
So is this a bigger on the inside type deal?
100%. Yes.
Neris is a genius. That's what I'm learning.
Mm-hmm.
This is extremely impressive.
All right, cards and dinner.
Mm-hmm.
You
Sounds
see
good
Laura
to
as you
me.
guys walk into this large area. Laura looks at you, it's like, but don't you want to see your rooms, your living quarters?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't we settle in first? We
Yeah,
can
we
do
can take some
that
time,
later.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll take some time and we'll meet up for cards and dinner. Yeah.
So it's a very modest shared living space. And as he walks you over toward the mosaics of portraits of yourselves, he gestures for you to touch.
I touch it.
You touch. As you touch, the glass peels back and opens, and
I thought it was gonna be like a Mario Party 64 or Super Mario 64.
Not
kind
this
of
time.
situation.
it's been many times, but not this time. It opens and refracts, and what we saw once was what looked like a standard, very small, single studio apartment-looking type of bed space of like 400 square feet or less in here for just the sleeping quarters. It's small right now.
Mhm.
Each of you, as you touch it, it populates with some basic stuff. A single picture, a single rug, a single, something on your table stand, all specific to you guys. Andros might have a picture of his wife shows up on there.
Nice.
Val might have a map of the lands on there. Ulo would have a map of the Fey Wilds would show up on his wall. There'd be a little fire lamp, specifically with an interesting type of fire on Ulo's night desk stand. Each of you guys can customize that as you want as time goes on, but these are the most basic that pull right from your soul. As lore explains to you guys, the fortress itself uses a magic that taps directly into your preferences, your thoughts, your experiences, your memories, and whatever you're kind of hoping for, it takes a version of that and spits it into this room and creates it.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I love it.
Beautiful. This is incredible.
Nice
This
and
is
homey.
this is beyond any kind of wondrous item that I've ever seen. This is truly incredible. And we got
It's
this
truly-
for free.
truly
A
wondrous.
work of art.
We only had to storm
A
storm a village.
demon-infested town
Yeah.
And
demons.
save everybody.
and save
Yeah.
every citizen that was savable.
Pretty
We did it.
fantastic.
Mean! Haha. Anyway, possible upgrades. Laura will explain to you ranging from 5,000 to 10,000 gold pieces. You can add an alchemy lab, advanced armory, portal chamber, arcane library, a menagerie, and defense mechanisms. And then you can
Arcane
also
library, you
make
say.
it bigger and larger, eventually to the size of a Howl's Moving Castle type of deal eventually, if you ever wanted to.
Oh.
It's already bigger on the inside.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, but then you could also make it bigger on the outside.
Oh yeah, no, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I think there's definitely like a strange moment for Val as she walks into her own space, and like it's odd, right? Because she's so used to moving from place to place. The concept of having a home is kind of odd, but that like wave of comfort and ease and nostalgia and like familiarity, like as she sets like her bags down in this like blank canvas of a room, like her mind begins to populate with all of these ideas, and she starts thinking about, oh well, I could make a rack for staves over there, or some bookshelves would fit nice over there, and just like these thoughts that have never occurred to her before are just like, this could be different than what we've had so far, and it could be really good.
And you can see it's almost living and reacting, where it almost wants to change something but doesn't yet. Inside this room, it gives and takes and feels and lives with you, the character. I'd even say Val probably harkens back to a memory where you may have had something that, and for a time you were in an area, you may have been roaming and going to different places, but say maybe a tree where you kept a couple things, and how that kind of felt interesting and nice, a novelty to be able to return back to a place to pick up something that you left behind, maybe not even of any value, but more of just personal intrigue and just a feeling of not accomplishment of, but I lack the vocabulary word for not catharsis, of being able to come back and actually have something be there from a life of always on the move. Yeah, there's definitely some emotion to fit in of coming back to something stable.
Stability.
Yeah.
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 Sedentary.
Yeah, and then that feeling comes back to maybe that moment you've had with a tree of, I mean, it could have been as simple as acorns if you want it, that you stored in there, that stayed there, or maybe an animal friend you put in there, whatever it might be. You feel free to mold that as you will, but I feel like that'd be a great connection for Val.
Yeah.
And then the Demon Lord Balthazar shows up and
Oh,
challenges you
no.
all to a game of strip poker.
Whoa. Gotta join the OnlyFans first.
All right, yeah, see that hard left turn? That was like watching that K-drama series with Ari. 12 episodes in. It's only 12 episodes. 11 episodes. The first 10, solid. 11, something got a little wonky. I'm like, how are they going to do this? 11th episode, first 30 minutes, utterly off the rails. We are so lost in the sauce. And then we're back. Like that shit didn't happen. We're in a little love. We're in a normal K-drama romance thing. All of a sudden, the 12th, we just get introduced. Main character is in an insurgent civil war halfway across the world, in the equivalent of Vietnam for Korea. I'm like, what? And then that gets resolved, and as soon as it was basically as it was introduced, and we move on. I'm like, without a doubt, production was like, we have access to this. We got to make an action movie real quick. I'm just like, this is insanity. It's baffling. Anyway,
That's funny.
y'all get your long rest if you take it.
Oh,
We were playing cards.
well.
Who wins in cards?
How about it?
Ooh. What is that? How would you?
I don't even know.
I would
I
think
don't know.
that you could roll the highest relevant skill, like if you're trying to do it.
Well, it's
like-
it's technically a tool proficiency.
Oh, it's true. You got me there.
And fun fact, I have it.
Really? The soldier has to.
That's so weird.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Everybody
I'm
roll a
gonna
dex
roll.
check who's playing.
Dex check. Got you.
Dex. All right. If that's
Natural
what you
one.
want.
For 2. I lose so horribly. I lose like 20 gold. Take 20 of my gold.
All right, Charnook.
8.
14.
15.
Natural one for a 6.
You can re-roll it
That's 3
because I'm cool.
You give me the natural one, him the natural one.
Yeah.
That's
Why
okay. I
not?
would much rather it be the not puking one.
Yeah, he had that earlier.
A 2 for a 7.
Hey, you still
No!
beat me.
Luke beats me by
Yeah.
1.
I let you all keep your money, and I walk away from the table. Don't even say anything. Wins. Doesn't elaborate. Walks away.
Holy crap! Did that just happen?
I could not read his face at all. Nothing he
That
did
was-
made sense.
That that happened. That happened.
I've never played before, by the way.
Okay, we didn't have to.
That's just wrong.
That's just not required.
All right. I'm going to bed.
His day continues to be terrible. Yeah, if you guys wanted to totally deviate, I had ChatGPT create an entire card game for you if you just want to fuck around for the next 30 minutes.
Nah, let's get started on the day.
Yeah. Long rest.
Long rest.
Long rest.
I'd say since it's 9:51, we'll go.
Spells.
You guys wake up, you exit, and you make your way to the outskirts of where the Wicked Thicket is opening. And I think that'd be a great place for us to stop, so then we can enter the Wicked Thicket for next session.
Let's go.
Yes.
Okie doke.
Yo,
That'll be
Reed,
it.
why are your villains always so fucked up?